everybody. You're watching Disconnected's first round coverage of the La Mirada Open. Join us after a quick message.
Technicolor Printing specializes in making your life easier. We don't mess around with your time, and we make it happen. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, graphic design, or promotional products, we want to be one of your teammates. We provide every customer with a digital mock-up of their order. Our whole goal at Technicolor is to make apparel ordering easy. We want to do it right the first time, every time. People don't have to mess around when they call us. We have the staff to make sure that every time you call, someone's going to answer. When you send an email, someone's going to respond.
Hey everybody, and welcome into 2026 La Mirada Open coverage here on Disconnected. I'm Ethan Wellin, joined in the booth as always by Chris Brophy.
Hey guys.
Chris, it is once again the shortest off-season in the history of disc golf, and we're playing A-tier January competition here at historic La Mirada Park. A really difficult flavor of this, the Golden State layout, it's often called here in Southern California. The tees are longer than ever, the OB is tighter than ever. It's going to be a great challenge for our featured fivesome today.
You know, Ethan, I do have to say that this year people were kind of chirping how tough of a course it was. Like, that shot was nowhere near going to be safe. You could tell. He's worried. The landing zone on this first hole was incredibly tough. Unless that bites, that thing is gone. Oh, might have gotten lucky hitting that tree. Because right there, where everybody's wanting to land near normal two's target, is really pinchy.
Yeah, you have to fit it in left of the path, in between the two mandatories, as looks like Parker is sailing right out of bounds here. And then there's an OB line pinching the left side as well, so you really can't take a left skip and stay safe. Aaron might have gotten a little lucky there off the mandatory. No, he missed it. That's a drop zone.
Yeah, you missed the Mandy. It was pretty tough to get up and down. I think there were probably a lot more bogeys on this hole than there were birdies.
Yes.
It's hard to tell where the paint was. You can see those white flags. But it could be a little hard to tell on video. It was pretty tight, it made it pretty difficult to really attack. Really fun hole, really tough, kind of mean of them to have a start on this hole one. You had to be ready.
Yeah, beating the scoring average for the field if you can just make a par, a score of 4 on the opening hole.
As you mentioned, one of the first tournaments of the season. So to have it be the first tournament and a pretty rough starting hole, I think there were a lot of people walking away with bogeys, probably shrugging it off like, whatever. Miranda with the nice bird.
A defending champion here at the La Mirada Open, Andrew Miranda. He has a nose for those season opening A-tiers. You got the Wintertime Open in 2024, La Mirada Open in 2025. Kickstarts his seasons with a big payday here in SoCal. Second hole, this one's stretched as well, Chris. Par 3. We're flying up on a park road, which is going to play as an OB river. So you could lay up shorter, though. I'm guessing on this card, everybody's going to be trying to cross that river and find the green on the other side. And it's blind, so take a guess.
Pretty good forehand. Looked like he just aired it right in and under the target. Skipping off that road's a little dicey. If that shot gets up, he might have enough. Oh, just cleared the curb. So there were two ways to play it. Saw a lot of layups on this hole, but it's early. These guys are figuring they might as well test it. There was also out of bounds on that right side, so more than just that street. There was paint over there on the right. That made it a little sketch. That one's going to fall in the road. Got 2 in and 2 out. Aaron's got a big forehand. Imagine he has enough. Easy peasy. Lands behind the basket, so he was not messing with that road.
A lot of storylines here, Chris, on this early season feature card, and none bigger than Aaron Gossage. Coming off a really strange finish to last year. The controversy, the story there in the DGPT championship, and then parting with his longtime sponsor, Discraft. He landed at MVP just, I think, 2 weeks before the La Mirada Open kicked off. So he's got a bag full of fresh Frisbees, major vibe change, career shift for him. And to be, competing against some of the elites of the Southwest here in Parker Welck and Drew Gibson and Pinegar, the list goes on. I mean, a ton of 1,000-rated players in this field. There's not a lot of time to feel out how these discs are flying.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There might not have been a ton of 1050 rated guys, but the amount of 1,000 and up rated dudes in this field was tremendous. Really stacked field. Even in the age-protected divisions. MP60 saw 35 guys, so it was a pretty big tournament by local standards. This whole hole 3 is a handful. That Mandy's no gimme. There's a top part there. Oh, he just got under it. Chris Pinegar, who just threw, is a local and has won many, many events here at La Mirada.
Pinegar, the owner of the highest rated PDGA round ever thrown in the state of California.
Goodness.
I think I have the number here. Oh, yeah. That is a 11-12, 1112 rated 18 under here at La Mirada. Not the Golden State layout, just the regular Lakeside course.
Oh, is that a league?
That's a league. That's a league round,
okay.
But 18 under scorching,
yeah,
scorching hot no matter when you do it.
Insane.
So our first par 5, Chris, they're going way out into the far corner of the park to a basket that's just nestled in this elbow, really close to OB on 2 sides. The second shot is kind of a setup shot. We want to see discs that are working up there onto the top of the hill where Pinegar is so that you can get a straight look, maybe even be able to see the target on the third shot.
You know, what's hard to tell off camera is that OB line runs right up the middle of this thing, almost the whole way. So a couple of those drives were actually fairly close to OB on the right. And still need to avoid anything moving too far right. It's also out of bounds right behind the basket.
Oh yeah, there you see it.
Makes for interesting play. You want to get up there. You want to push it. You don't want to be putting at the OB. You don't want to roll out on your approach either.
And it's OB on and across in this case, so where Andrew rolled to is out of bounds.
I think almost everything we'll see will be on and across, out of bounds. La Mirada, for its beautiful smooth green grass, actually can offer a lot of rollaways. Oh, that one almost dunked. Get the texture of the sloping hills, and there's interesting little rings around the target that sometimes can deflect your upshot, or little roots to hit.
Drew Gibson making a nice birdie to get his round back on track. Surprising miss for Miranda after a hot start. I'm sure people are going to be asking. I'm not much of an MVP plastic expert, but I know Goose is putting the Nomad here. Somewhat of a flat profile neutral putter, and he says they've been flying well for him. The putt is definitely an area of emphasis for Aaron, who's one of the best throwers in the world. If he can make those Nomads work, I think it changes him from a perennial contender to a frequent favorite.
I talked to Aaron. He mentioned that his skills were as a thrower. I saw him make a lot of putts too, I gotta say. But as you can tell from that rip, let's see where that finishes. Oh, looks like it's heading towards the lake. He crushed that thing. I mean, that man can throw, backhand or forehand. And speaking of people that can throw, Drew Gibson. I don't know if you've ever seen Drew Gibson throw in person. Drew throws really hard.
A violent motion.
Yeah.
Drew recovering from a car accident, is that right? And I think he's finally feeling a bit better, and you can see it in his swing. The speed is back, that signature violence is back, and I think the scores are going to be back along with it.
Yep, nursing a sore back, getting better, but it takes a while to get into tournament shape. That's kind of a different thing, so.
Sure.
It's good to see him out there taking some swings.
So, Chris, can you explain the landing zone to us here? I mean, obviously everybody's going big turnover to try and set up the approach to the green.
It's tricky. Some of those trees are a little bit of sleeper trees, so you have to push it out a ways before you can start turning right. You'll see people throw rollers, but it's really sort of grass and wind dependent. Grass was a little long and a little soggy. Maybe not too wet by the time they got there, but it wasn't great rolling grass. So most people are doing the turnover. You want to get as high as you can and let it flex as far as you can. Can't go hard right because there's a path that you can get across. And then here on the approach, they're dealing with more out of bounds. You can see that cone. Left of that cone is out of bounds.
So here, Aaron is flying over an out of bounds area.
Flying over the OB. He gets over, but once again, you don't want to get too far over because what do you know? More OB.
Really difficult spot for Parker.
That was tricky. I don't blame him for not wanting to flex that one long.
That looks like a very confident stroke, Chris. That's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, he'll be dangerous if he has that putt going. His backhand's 500 feet. Gossage's forehand looks like it's almost 500 as well. Like, he's a monster. Didn't look like a man that was struggling with a new bag as I was watching a few of these holes.
The fifth hole, our second par 3 on this challenging layout, 300 feet moving up into the right onto this side hill, and it's once again framed by out of bounds. The drainage culvert on the right demarcates the lower side. There's a white painted line on the upper side. So if you're going to play this sidearm, definitely have to get it moving right, but not skipping and screaming down the hill. You need to stick up there, high side of circle 1 somewhere. That looks like it's pulled inside from Miranda. Gets a little bit lucky.
Not a bad kick. Sometimes they'll hit those trees and roll across those gutters, sidewalk, get OB. Looks like a good place to go. Land flat? Oh no. Did not land flat. Not sure if he's OB or not, but he's pretty close to the OB line.
Looks like kind of just a forced layup from that high side. Same thing from Pinegar. Miranda somehow gets birdie. Very lucky to scoot the drive through that tree and then capitalizes 40-footer.
Yeah, Parker!
Huge putt from Parker.
No problem.
It's to save his par. Parker was out of bounds. And it looks like Aaron was not out of bounds, so just up there close to the line. Frustrating starts for Drew and Parker, but the first 5 or 6 holes of this layout are some of the toughest by scoring average. Some opportunities as we move into the meat of this course to gain some strokes back.
A lot of holes left, a lot of shots left. It's gonna be a long round and a long 3-day weekend. No time to get frustrated yet.
Chris, hole 6, this is one of the wider and more generous landing zones on this layout. Really the only out of bounds to speak of is down here, low right of the target. So now we're looking back from behind towards the tee pad. The first shot is a setup.
There's Mandy pretty close that you need to go right of, and then you make a hard left turn from there. 2 plays, go high and wide like Aaron just did, and sweep over left without pushing over the edge of the cliff, so you still have a good look at it. That's a perfect spot. Other people were going low and taking the skip to get left, so a couple ways to play it. You go down too far and you go over the edge and it could make the approach tricky, so.
Yeah, some side hill footing.
Yeah, get some extra trees in the way. So far these all look doable. I guess these are showing there's 3 routes. There's the high, the low, and just the medium.
Parker and Drew really just laying back, not concerned about the distance, just trying to set up a wide open look. Hard for me to tell on these, Chris. How close is this?
You know, I was watching the way they shaped it. I like what they did. They both attacked that with something slightly overstable. So that they could get the distance with something that they knew would fight back left and get the skip back up the hill. Drew did the same. Where they settle is another thing. Looked like Andrew might have... It looked like he was scared to pull that one flat. It's sketchy. You got that OB right. It's easy to... Oh, goodness.
Wow, how about that?
Wasn't quite expecting that, but if you have a, 400-foot spike, maybe that's the way to play it. I've never seen that play before.
Looks like Drew's inbounds there. That culvert is not out. I believe the disc that Aaron just threw there, the blue one, is Nitro. Overstable 11 speed.
Ugly bounce back.
Unfortunate. Felt like he earned the birdie there.
That might have been the disc golf gods mad at him breaking the course, breaking that hole. It's not supposed to be a spike hyzer play.
Hole 7, this is another super puckery tee shot. Double mandatory, low ceiling, OB both left and right. You really just have to throw straight as an arrow to get the optimum play. Now, is there room, Chris, to say throw like a little flex sidearm or something down into that landing zone to the right, or is the OB too tight this year?
There is room, but they put a line over there. So right about where that light pole is that now you can't quite see.
Oh boy.
Look
Look
at that
out,
duck.
Goose.
Yeah. Oof, that tree right in the middle of the double Mandy is sketch. Drew played it right. Get the straight skip. Even without the skip, that's a great place to be. Oh man, it can be hard to get out of this gap. That's gonna be a tough shot from there.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Full flight.
If you don't get out of those trees, it might still be 500 feet, 480 uphill. Yeah, you can see Chris can throw it pretty hard and came out of his shoes and got nowhere near.
Yeah, just puts you in a position of trying to do too much from bad footing.
Makes you really, makes you not want to just lay up that first shot. You got to kind of pump something through that gap, and all kinds of bad things can happen. It does open up near the target, so that's where you can finally breathe. And when you have a world-class sidearm, you can take that approach. Beautiful putt.
Made that
Easy
look
birdie.
easy, didn't he?
Yeah, Junior.
Another tough hole. Hole up and around this gym. Some people will cut the corner, get farther left. You can't push too straight because that gully on the right's out of bounds. Somewhere up top where you can see the next target, not the one we see in the sights there, but over the path past that red tree. Tough hole.
Yeah, one of the longest par fours. It's both Aaron and Andrew are shooting through that gap that you were talking about, Chris, kind of cutting the corner. Wow, it allows you to push it way further up there.
Most people, many people will go out and around the way Chris did. He's a local.
Beauty. Look up.
The tour pros just taking inside cuts. Or Drew taking everything out of the way. Power hyzer.
The sky is always the biggest gap.
And let's see. This is a tough up shot. Looks like he didn't really go for it. Tough one to attack. These guys have the power to attack it from there, but is it worth the potential stroke? There's OB right of that gully. You can barely see.
How far is
Oh, did he find it?
How far is the putt from the short
look at that,
side
straighten
there,
out.
Chris? If they end up
Yeah.
just on the close
Nice.
side of it.
Yeah, that dark tree that's on this side of the path is probably 35.
Okay.
Maybe 42. Maybe.
This drive is so far up here.
Got across. Wow. Great putt.
Parker's made a lot of money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Elite Series win at the was that the Dynamic Discs Open a couple years ago. So a lot of big forehands, set himself up somewhere in C2 and throw it in. Do it for an entire weekend.
Yeah.
Another confident looking putt from Aaron.
Yes. Oh.
Ooh, got niced.
Oh my.
Yeah, Junior.
Hole 9, another tough shot. OB left, OB right, OB short, OB long. Got a sloping hill you need to land on.
And a late mandatory on the right side here that prevents you from throwing the big hyzer on your second shot. So you're kind of going to be forced to play down this narrow fairway. Or I suppose if you're Aaron, you could think about big sidearm on the second shot.
It was a good hole for the tour guys. They can throw far enough to really get down there confidently in the fairway. A lot of other divisions were having to lay up their second shot.
Yeah, Parker. Nice and smooth.
These guys will probably all be going for it on the second shot.
Yeah.
So we can play a little different depending on which division you're in. Local king Chris Pinegar Jr. right down the middle. Like how they're landing these fairly flat and taking that big roll out of the play. You can see Andrew hang his head. He didn't quite get that as flat as he'd like. Got that late Mandy. It's carrying over the OB. Gets the target with OB behind it and right of it. That was a great shot.
Great shot.
Pinegar throwing pretty hard with a forehand. Will it get down? Might add a little lucky tree there. Oh, there's a Mandy right there.
There's that mandatory. Looked like he
Missed.
passed on the wrong side of it.
And almost killed some pedestrians. One of the things about playing at La Mirada, the patience it takes to deal with pedestrians.
And it's only Friday, Chris. I mean, those distractions are going to amplify Saturday, Sunday. A lot of picnickers, kids playing baseball, kids bombing their skateboards up and down these big trails through the middle of the fairways.
Fishermen, kids in baby strollers, like joggers.
Kind of like maybe like a Fountain Hills experience or a Vista experience in that respect.
I remember feeling that way at the memorial. Yep.
See Drew blow a little kiss to basket 9. He's even on the front half. Nice birdie by Pinegar. Keeping pace with Gossage pretty well.
Pinegar's used to winning tournaments at this location, kind of almost no matter who shows up, but this is a deeper field.
And there you see it, Chris. After 9, Cupcake Jacob Curtis out to a really hot 7 under, along with Wyatt Fittiman, a local. Jake Fraley, he's been on the channel before. Josh Anton, many generations, talented golfers from all over California and beyond. So we turn to the back 9.
The back 9, which is carved up out of the back 18, or La Mirada backside. So the front 9 was the front 18 with a bunch of added holes, and this is the back 9 made up of the back 18. Starting off with a tough hole.
Going up on top of this hill, down into the landing zone that's defined. There you see the OB on both sides, and the culvert is kind of the end of the fairway that is accessible from this tee pad. And they'll be crossing over a big out-of-bounds area onto a island green.
The gap between islands was just big enough. I didn't see anybody go for it. It would be kind of nice to almost see that pulled in a bit and tempt a couple of these big arms, but looks like Big Arm Drew's just laying up a mid-range or something down the middle.
Yeah,
Maybe a soft fairway.
Even if you could reach that island on the other side, which I suspect Drew might be able to, you still would not have a putt at that point. So there's kind of just no benefit, I think.
No, they can lay up, somewhere near the edge and get up and down fairly easily at their arm speed.
Andrew needs to get left in a hurry.
I'll tell you, I saw a lot of people take big numbers on this hole, even though they can get up and down.
That looks like a
Plenty of paint.
good adjustment.
Yeah. Second shot was a little more uphill than it might have looked. They're probably throwing from about 375.
Oh, get up.
So you see a few of them, people were coming up short.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to have juice power. You can just put that on a hyzer the whole way instead of having to flex it up the hill. Another good putt.
Yes. Yeah, Junior.
Yeah, Junior is right. Let's go.
I think perhaps that second shot by Andrew might have been a provisional based on the result flashing across our score ticker there.
I was there. They were not sure whether he was inbounds or not. Turned out he was.
So hole 11, talk about an interesting tee shot here, Chris. Sets up to tempt you through this little picture frame gap. Though in practice, I don't think we really saw many people throwing through there.
Yeah, the TD talked about wanting people to throw through there, but he didn't actually make it a Mandy, so Saw a lot of people go around. Anything short of the gully was hazard. So you definitely wanted to get across. But interesting how we're seeing some of these guys play it, where they're having to put hyzer on the disc. And that's from the hazard.
Do you think that you could park it going around that outside, or do you think that that play is sort of accepting this area that Parker and Aaron wound up, where you're kind of like looking at these 30-footers up the hill?
Definitely can park it, and I saw a lot of people get back there, well past it, going around the outside. So what I saw some of them do that was a bit head scratching was throwing very overstable discs. So once they put a little bit of hyzer on it, it buried into the hill and it didn't have a chance to carry. I think the play might have been an understable disc with some hyzer, so as it turns the corner, it's flattening out and it can keep its height. Downside is you can blast past it as you're coming in flat. So everything's cost and benefit. I would never second guess these guys. They're better than I am. But
sounds kind of old school, Chris. Your idea is that we're going to throw hyzers with understable frisbees?
Yeah, it's I guess an old school thing.
Hole 12, this one's a classic. A par 4, 655 feet. The fairway is just the area that is to the left of this culvert, so everything to the right is out of bounds. And then once you reach the end of this fairway, you're going to look to the right onto a peninsula, again defined by the culvert and the cement line really tight. The basket is going to be sitting in that bare piece of dirt all the way out in the corner.
Cool hole. Has a late Mandy that looks like Aaron's almost flirting with. He gets in front of it. Why that's important is if you don't get past that, you're not going to have a real straight line for your next shot. So shots like this that get guarded or sawed off a little early into those trees, there's a chance, now he might be far enough back where he can do it, but there's a chance that he won't really have the angle from there. So it's important to either push pretty far towards those skinny double trees or be pretty far left where it opens up the angle. But if you're near the OB and you're short, it's a pretty tough shot. Pretty small little island they're landing on. And you can see a couple of these shots of them being nowhere near that Mandy, but scared of the OB. Sucks going OB early on that shot.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because that sensation on... Wow, that's an amazing shot by Parker. Kind of out of position. The tendency to be too safe on the drive makes the second shot so hard.
Yep.
And so in some ways, the more aggressive you get off that tee, at least you know where you stand and you can, make a scoring decision from there. But these guys all have power to put it in a
good curb
position where these chip shots are a little more doable. Sit down, Aaron. Okay, that's all right.
You bring up a great point. I like to think of holes that way, especially when there's out of bounds behind them. Do you want to attack it at the beginning and go out of bounds off the drive, or play it easy or safe and then have a 30-footer staring at the OB? I think I've landed on better to just get aggressive, attack it. Maybe you don't go OB and good things happen. And if you do, then at least you're not putting towards the out of bounds. So, it's all very hole dependent, but something to think about.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. 13th hole, par 4, 515 feet. I think the shortest par 4, second shortest par 4 we're going to see today. Certainly a scoring opportunity, although the OB keeps being brought in on this hole year after year.
Tighter and tighter, yeah. Even though it's only 5-something, well, these guys might prove me different, but I didn't see anybody getting anywhere near it for putts. Not even like chips that they're running at. Curious to see how these guys do, but the way that line came in, you couldn't really blast a drive.
Because if it stands up, if it gets off hyzer angle, it's going to penetrate too far, kind of beyond where the fairway bends away to the left, right?
Correct. So they're just having to play skip shots that are getting back over low, as you can see, right? That looked like it was plenty far left, but it was not.
Looked like that long grass kind of grabbed him, and Pinegar
There's
too.
another, right? So getting left was more important than going far. Yeah, made for a tough hole. And then the approach is, oh gimme, plenty of trees in the way, plenty of hilly stuff. The OB is only about 30 feet right when you're pin high. Slopes way behind it into the road, so you can't really get crazy.
Junior.
And then a unique green with the pine straw. Discs just kind of slide and spin on the ground.
And it's uphill.
Oh, beauty.
Quick putt by Parker. Andrew also a little bit out of position. Drew's able to save his par though. Aaron with the only birdie, getting into 8 under.
Looks like he's liking these new discs. Working for him so far.
They're landing in bounds and the putt's going in. Makes everything work. Hole 14, another short par 4, 500 feet. There's an early mandatory. Is that right?
No Mandy this year. Now, normally we do see a Mandy there, which had a lot of people taking the route that our drone just took. Normally that route on the left was not accessible, but it was this year.
Wow.
You're able to throw a little more straight at it, so it kind of made it like a new hole. Normally there's that Mandy just off the tee on the right side.
Just wondering if we would see roller. Is this a hole that's reachable for an eagle with a roller?
I would say, let's ask Drew.
Stand up. Certainly looked like 500 feet of power. Just not finishing in the correct direction.
Yeah, I don't think he quite had the angle right, but I think he had enough.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one that's running.
Kind of a standing cut
Wow.
roller. Very technical shot by Andrew.
Go.
It's probably hard for our viewers at home to understand, Chris, where exactly these guys are going, but they need to crest this hill under this kind of leafy, limby, sideways tree, or through the middle of it.
It gets pretty steep as it falls away, and it falls away towards out of bounds. So
Yeah.
it's one of those funky ones. You're right. Got to get over the hill, under the tree, and then back down the hill without going all the way down the hill.
And without catching edge, finding some way that you can come in flat, because otherwise they can run 40 feet. They can probably run all the way out of bounds down there.
Another big putt. Sit down. Good composure.
I like to see a player that actually stands behind the mark and runs the routine again. Not just fires that second putt.
Drop in birdie for Goose. Early tree costs Junior.
Hole 15, 655 feet. I think this might be the rare case of a hole that it is not at its most extreme possible situation here. We're gonna be just teeing off from the sidewalk, but not doing that, old Golden State little technical sidearm from back in the day where the fairway was only 20 feet wide.
Yeah, we used to tee a little farther back here. Luckily, there was no baseball going on. This first day. It's a Friday, so the parking lot's empty. But I think they got sick of the cracked windshields. that hole was producing, because that hole was just too mean.
It was a nightmare. You can check out, head over to Central Coast YouTube channel and check out the Champs vs. Chumps on this layout from back in the day. You can see the Chumps take I think a 14 or a 15 on this hole.
Well, you get to choose. You want to hit parked cars or moving cars? Those are like the two options.
It looked like Drew missed the mandatory on the right side, going for a super aggressive roller play.
Yeah, and you should see where that roller ended up. Even though it missed and it had to hop the curb. Oh my God, that's what reminded everybody. Drew has lots of power left in that sore back.
I took a look back, Drew's recent results, Chris. Of course, we talked about the car accident, and he's been off the road, had a baby daughter. So it feels, I think, like he has been away longer than he actually has. We're really not very far removed from a couple of Elite Series wins for Drew Gibson. One on the Q Series, and then the two tour events. Oh, let's check it out.
Not to cut mid-story there, but what was crazy about that was his second throw. His forehand drive got so far up the fairway, Gossage's, that it was all the way up to those pull-up bars. Backhand rollers don't go to those pull-up bars, so yeah, he's a monster. Please, though. Had to point that out.
It's good. You got to bring me back, Chris, because sometimes I just go off down
So
memory
Drew hits
lane.
a big putt, reminiscent of some recent.
Yes, thank you.
Successes.
I was just thinking of that Las Vegas win in a playoff over a very shrimpy young Gannon Burr.
That's right.
And I think that was about the last time anybody ever beat Gannon Burr.
I think that was the day.
So
that
not
Gannon
so
broke.
long ago, folks. Drew Gibson is still a young man, and I think we might still see him back and contending for some Elite Series wins again before his day is done. Hole 16.
The double-double.
Unique par 4 with a ton of mandatories, forcing you up this narrow fairway.
It's uphill. Got a parking lot on the right that can creep up on you pretty quick, and pretty easy to get in the street on the left. First shot takes a little placement. You need to be aggressive because you don't want to be way down that hill for the next shot. So all about having decent placement on this first one. So far, our guys are making it just fine.
Is it important, Chris? Now, obviously, priority one is just to make this first double mandatory, but does it matter how far to the left or right you finish up here by these second mandatories, just to give yourself the angle?
It's a great question. You're exactly right. It can matter a lot. If you go OB left and you're all the way over, you could see from this angle. If you're all the way at the sidewalk, all of a sudden, that's a totally different angle. Being kind of in the middle, they can kind of throw straight at it. But throwing a forehand with that slope is treacherous.
Yeah, it just wants to run out of bounds.
Right? Or you have to take a shot like this where you're going right of the tree and over a couple windshields. Not a gimme upshot at all. So being in the middle helps a lot.
And it just makes a huge difference to be up here close to the second double mandatory. I mean, Drew plays the hole to perfection.
Yeah, we didn't see it on this card, but in general, you go through scores and you're going to see big numbers on this hole. Same card, you'll have somebody with a 3 and somebody with a 10.
Our card played it pretty clean. Four birdies and the par for Aaron. He just got caught up in that early ceiling.
One of the few normal holes on the course, par 3, 375, the lower right position. Tricky hole though, even though it's a normal hole. The hill has weird texture. You gotta get left of that pole. That fence is in play. You turn it too far right, that tree becomes in play. Usually there's a headwind, so you can turn it over into the parking lot. Go about 25 feet long, you're out of bounds. A lot of ways to mess this hole up.
Always think it's amazing on this hole how easily the discs want to just drift to the right, down that hill into the out of bounds. Something about the shape of the hill.
Hold that. See? You're exactly right.
Be a treacherous putt. from up
Hard
there.
to attack downhill like that. Hold.
Of course, Pinegar has probably birdied this hole more than anybody on earth except Bobby Music. Is that how we want to call it?
Potentially. And a lot of Bobby's birdies were before this hole was in existence, so Pinegar's probably up there.
So that kind of a lucky result for Aaron to weave an uphill putt.
Yeah, 3's kind of okay here. For being a, quote, normal hole.
Of course, you'd love to get the birdie here because 18 is a bruiser. So you'd like to just buffer against bogey at the 18th, but instead Aaron makes bogey on the 17th. Ditto for Chris.
Yeah, birdie free.
Take us through, Chris. Hole 18, par 5, 925 feet.
So you gotta get over this hill, but you need to be right of the fence. You have to get under those branches, but you have to be left of those trees because there's a sneaky white line playing down that right side that's carving all the way over towards that Y. It was really cut in tight this year. Then you gotta cross the road. Then you gotta go up this very steep hill through the double Mandy, below the tree line, and then past that basket to the long pin.
And if you do it in 3 shots,
You get
Then
high
you can-
fives from all your friends.
and you
That's
can
an
have a
eagle.
birdie putt. Oh, sure. Yeah.
So far, these guys are looking good. So, you know, that hill's pretty tall for us not super tall guys. Like, you can see it sort of forcing people up. You can't really throw flat. You have to sort of throw up. But then you want to get under that ceiling. But look where that line was. He barely got back safe. So if you pull it right at all, which you might want to for a hole that's 1,000 feet or whatever,
Now look at Aaron.
and that's where a lot of people's second shots are landing. He just nuked that thing. So here's the question. Do you go for it? Because it pinches at the landing point. I would expect a lot of these guys are strong enough to get all the way over and play it into the face. Other divisions are laying up before that yellow crossbar. That was close to OB. Looks like he was safe.
It's really hard to see the line on our camera. Look for those flags. That's defining the left edge.
That never got back safe.
Aaron throws the first shot so big that now the second one is a spike hyzer.
Yeah, like you played that a little safer. Smart, because he's going to be close enough to go for it. Yeah, those are great shots.
And Chris, I mean,
Lost a lot of distance.
the penalty of that right miss, you have to
Yeah.
retreat so far.
And the out of bounds is in the circle on this hole. Left, right, and behind.
Drew trying to get this one in the clubhouse.
Crispy little forehand. See how he put a bunch of spin on it without speed? Like that. All wrist and fingers, not a long swooping arm throw. Good way to finish the day.
Gets it back to double digits. That's going to be a really impressive round, likely near the top of the leaderboard.
For his first time in Southern California, or at least playing La Mirada. Not bad.
Tough day for Andrew Miranda. Putter let him down a few times inside the circle. And a solid round for Drew after a slow start. Started 2 over through the first 4, got it back to 4 under. Keeps him in the conversation. Through round 1, it is indeed Aaron Gossage at the top of the leaderboard, 10 under, 1054 rated. Jake Reilly chasing. We'll be back with round 2 here on Disconnected. I'm Ethan Wellin, joining the booth as always by Chris Brophy.
See you on the next one.